Welcome to Talk of the Town. This is an official podcast from the town of Pinetop-Lakeside to expand upon community topics shared through the Talk of the Town newsletter. Here we will give you more detail, respond to questions, and deliver information about community news and happenings. Hey, it's Rob Hefner with the town of Pinetop-Lakeside, hanging out here in the studio. And today, ongoing, we've had an issue here in the town of Pinetop-Lakeside with roadways, people going too fast, people going too slow, people not being able to get on the roadway, people not being able to get off the roadway, potholes, all of that. Then, of course, people want to walk or go down the roadways, and that's been an issue over time. There was a study done quite a few years ago. It got put forth, and some people got excited in the community, and it never got put forth to town council. Well, this has gotten brought back up in the last year or so, especially based upon the fact that we had a lot of potholes. Those got fixed by ADOT because of a letter writing campaign from you, the citizens of the town of Pinetop-Lakeside. On the phone today, I've got a gentleman, Chris Joannes, right?
Yep.
And you're with Kimley-Horn. And describe a little bit what Kimley-Horn is, first of all.
Sure. So Kimley-Horn is the lead consultant on this study that's being managed by Navajo County. And we're a transportation planning and engineering firm, and we have a long history of working with jurisdictions in the White Mountain region. We've done a series of studies with the city of Show Low and ADOT previously that have all looked at State Route 260 through Pinetop-Lakeside. Most recently, last year, we did a transit study for the city of Show Low that looked at the White Mountain Connection and Four Seasons Connection transit services up and down State Route 260. So we have a long history of working along the 260 corridor and looking at all types of different modes of travel in the White Mountain region to make a better transportation system.
Awesome. What we're looking at is how to make things better and how to make things work more safely. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. So the study we're conducting right now, again, Navajo County is leading it. They put in for a federal grant a couple years ago, and they were successful. They won a federal planning grant through the RAISE program, which is a U.S. Department of Transportation multimodal program. And the focus is looking at the entirety of State Route 260 all the way from U.S. Highway 60 up in downtown Show Low all the way through State Route 73 down by the Honda Casino, and incorporates everything within the town of Pinetop-Lakeside and the city of Show Low along this corridor. And it's looking at primarily pedestrian, bicycle, transit, and intersection congestion to make this a more comfortable corridor for everybody to use, regardless of if you're driving, walking, biking. We want everybody to be able to use the State Route 260 corridor comfortably.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about we put out a link to a way to give input, and someone had said it's a survey. There is a survey in it, which is really just putting in prioritization of 6 items, I believe. That's not the real,
right.
That we want you to do that, but we also want you to do something else, and that has to do with giving input specifically where you believe it's needed. Now, there's a map, and it's an interactive map. Can you give us a little guidance of understanding of how that works and how you'd like to see people give input?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you first click on the link, it'll bring you to a landing page with some directions on how to use the mapping function in here. So once you click OK on that, you'll see it'll bring you to a map of the State Route 260 corridor. There's a thick brown line that shows you the section of the highway that we're looking at, which again is from downtown Show Low to the Honda Casino. And essentially what we want people to do is zoom in, pan around, and find locations where you've had issues along the corridor where you either want to point out something to us as the consultant team for us to look into, or you have a suggested project that you want us to evaluate. And so on the right-hand side of the screen, there will be a blue button that says Add Comment. And once you click on that, it'll open up a panel and it gives you some options. Those are transit safety and accessibility, bicycle safety and connectivity, pedestrian safety and connectivity, and car safety and congestion. And you can actually, once you click on one of those, say you want to drop an issue about you'd like to see a bike lane, let's say at Penrod Road and State Route 260. You would click on the bicycle icon, and then the system would say, click anywhere you want on the map to add a comment, and you would go ahead and click at the intersection of Penrod and 260. It will drop a little bicycle point, and then you can put in your comment, I want to see a bike lane here. And then, again, that's just an example. And then you would click submit, and it would go ahead and leave that point in the map. You'll also see everybody else's points that have been dropped in the map. And if you click on those, you can see what they wrote. And so that might spur some other ideas for improvements you want to see.
Okay, here's a question. Will it tell me who made the comment?
It does not tell you who made the comment.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about if you make a comment that somebody's going to call you out for a comment you made. That's my point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Completely anonymous.
Okay, good. Now let's talk about a little bit. So you give that input. This is the virtual. Are there going to be any like public hearings or public points where people can come in and do this in person, or is this the only way you're going to get input?
So at this phase, this is the only way we're doing input. We actually, the project started quite a while ago, but the county was getting all of its funding agreements in place. So we actually did a in-person engagement event at Sholo Days back in last June, and had people do very similar exercises as this, where we actually had physical pins we stuck into a big map board. And then the survey, which is talking about transportation priorities on the corridor, we actually had people rank that there as well. However, we will have coming up in a few months, after we get all of our project suggestions together and develop a prioritization, another opportunity both in person and virtually for people to give us their opinions. So that'll be in a few months here. So we'll have people do this round of engagement. We'll develop a list of projects. We'll prioritize those projects, and then we'll bring that back to the public to say, yes, I agree. No, I don't agree. Change, offer suggestions on how to change the project to make it better reflect what they're looking for. So there's definitely one other major opportunity to have input, as well as once we have a draft plan put together, there will be a final opportunity for people to comment on the plan itself.
Okay, and we'll be able to give that advance out and let everyone here listening. And of course, if you go on our website and or other communication platforms, you'll be able to find it there.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Chris, that I need to mention or you would like to make sure people know about?
Not really, just that we're very excited to be conducting this study. Like I mentioned, we've had a long partnership with the town of Pinetop-Lakeside trying to make improvements to the State Route 260 corridor. And we really believe, since this has county and federal support to it, that our recommendations that come out of this plan will be able to be implemented, and we'll be able to see some improvements here along the corridor soon.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome. If you have any other questions, you can contact us here. You know how to. All the links are down below. Or you can stop into Town Hall and watch down below. You can click on the link to go to give your very own input. Once again, this is Talk of the Town. I'm Rob Hefner for the town of Pinetop-Lakeside. Be good out there, be nice to each other, and, maybe slow down and enjoy the area just a little bit more.